Hello and welcome, genties and ladlemen. It is in fact your boy, Sir Egward, and we are here with episode four. Four? Aye, four. I could count, I'm smart, of Cracking the Shell. On this episode, we have Darren from the Head of the Traitor, because I love symphonic deathcore. Who doesn't? Everyone likes Lorna Shore, so that means yes, you do. How's it going, man?
I'm good, mate. A bit flustered. I've nearly forgot about it, but you know, I got there. It's been a busy day for me. You?
I don't doubt it. Thankfully, I've actually been off today. Thank God, because work's
Oh,
stressful
so,
as well.
so have I been off, but the day's just been one of the days. It's just got away from me. But
It's
we're
now
here
you're
now. We're
finally
fine.
off, and then everything happens. It's like, oh, you're not at work? Here's a bunch of shit piled on you. It's great.
Yeah, I know the feeling, man.
Yeah, it's great. Anyway, so before we get into the head of the traitor, what you've been doing, what's coming up, I'd like to turn back the clock a wee bit and find out a wee bit about your like your upbringing, finding metal, learning vocals, the kind of Wikipedia origin section, like that kind of thing.
Um, if we're gonna start off at the wiki origin section, I kind of like that phrase. But if we're gonna start there, I think go into the whole alternative scene, if we're going to call it that, kind of run about when Offspring were becoming a thing.
Hmm.
Offspring and Park. I remember finding these two CDs in my sister's room that weren't actually my sister's because they don't listen to anything like this, right? Anything metal orientated, they're quite the opposite. And it turned out to be like a sister's friend who happened to leave these two CDs, and it was the Offspring and Linkin Park. And Faye there, I think I kind of went down the traditional Slipknot, Machine Heads, that kind of look from there as I like dug deeper into the world I never knew was even there. And then I kind of liked. I always found myself gravitating towards like the heavier section, especially in like Slipknot. Right at the time, that was probably the heaviest thing I'd found, and I kept leaning towards like the next heavy thing, if you know what I mean. So like the following week, if I came across something like even like Bullet, right? Bullet for my Valentine. I know how it sounds, but
Listen,
um,
The Poison and like Fever and oh, what was it? What was that album with the castle on the cover? I completely forget it. I feel
uh,
awful. It's like a church or a castle or something.
I'm not sure.
But those,
I
like that kind of group of albums, they're class. That was, I mean, Fever was the first for me. So,
I kind of remember it was like Hand of Blood, that kind of era
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
that when I first kind of like discovered them. Um, and I always found myself like I remember it clear as day, like skipping back to only the heavier sections
Oh
of the
yeah, I do that.
songs, and eventually, you dived in that whole right. I want to listen to stuff that isn't just you know that sorry, I want to listen to stuff that is just screaming like fate, start to finish, or
Yeah,
anything. Let's skip out the singing part. Is Don't get me wrong, I think it has its place in certain genres and that's fine. But I was seeking that brutalness, right? I could feel it shouting me, uh, and then it just spiraled for there. I think I kind of got introduced to the whole deathcore and that side of things through like being a wee scene kid when I was younger. So along after Bullet came like Enter Shikari, that sort of thing, Devil Wears Prada. But again, I was always wanting the heavier side. I feel like people go into this like two ways. They go into it that way, or they go into it like for the death metal slammy side of things. And
yeah.
then they kind of meet. So, um, I think that's my progression to where I'm on now. But now anything's game, right? I'm really
And
digging slam.
music's, it's good. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I was very much the same. It started off with like I vividly remember it was Disturbed and that kind of Inside the Fire, like the Indestructible album. I still love that album to this day. And then it kind of went down the new metal path. You got your Korn, your Limp Bizkit. Slipknot as well. Granted, for me, it was around the kind of like All Hope Is Gone kind of era, so I've skipped forward a wee bit, but obviously went back and like first two albums brilliant, everything after that maybe, maybe. Um, and then again, I don't remember how it started, but one of the first kind of introductions to deathcore I found, because I went from deathcore and worked my way backwards. Because usually it's like you find old school death metal, and then you find deathcore, and then you find slam, and then you kind of go that way. But I kind of went the reverse. I found the Breeding Violence video by Whitechapel. That was the
Oh,
first deathcore song I ever heard. And at first, it's like you don't know what to make of it. It's heavy, it's downtuned, there's blast beats, there's absolute stupid noises. You have no idea what to think. But then as you listen more to it, it's like, I kind of like this. And I'm going to make this my whole
yeah.
personality.
And I love it. I'm here for it, man. I love what the scene's grown into recently. I
Oh, I
think
absolutely.
uh, if I was to pinpoint it to like my first deathcore song, I think it's going to be Wage Slaves by All Shall Perish.
Oh, that album, just as a whole, is S tier. That whole
Oh yeah,
album and everything they've done, honestly. And I'm very happy that they've reunited. And I hope it's more than just like a festival. I hope we actually get some new tunes.
I hope so too, man. Even the first album with the old vocalist, Hate Malice Revenge, man, that is, I love
Oh,
that.
it still goes hard. Absolutely. It still
Good
goes
man.
hard. And they only just get better. Usually you find your first album, it's great. And then everything else, it's like, hmm,
Yeah.
let's not. So anyway, now you're at the point where you are dove headfirst into just angry music. At what point did you think I kind of want to make my own angry music?
Um. Well, I remember like let's screeching, we'll call it, like Pace Slipknot, and back then, and getting ready like to go to the Cat House Unders or whatever. I
Hmm.
remember like doing with the music and then starting to like do it. Like I wasn't getting any proper like guidance
Nobody does when they're
on it.
first starting out, you know? Nobody does.
So it was all like kind of bedroom shouting, but way back then, and it didn't actually become something until like just before lockdown. Honestly, I remember growing up like between the years of like 18 onwards, but I had a kid run about that time thinking I want to do it right, but family first.
Of course.
We had my son when I was like 18, like as I says, and I just had to focus on that. So as soon as he started to get a wee bit older, I'd like decided, you know what, I'm going to follow through with this. I'm getting a bit more spare time. It felt like the right time. Uh, and then that's when Tony like kind of randomly reached out to me, and it kind of kick started for there. But other than that, I've been kind of like not absent from like the whole scene in general. Like, see, just that part of like trying to bring up the family, get the house in order. I was just too busy for it.
Yeah, no, you
Um,
did the right thing. Absolutely. It's like if you're going to bring a life into this world, then your everything needs to go into that. A hundred
yeah,
percent. You've done the right thing. And I'm glad that kind of things have progressed to where you can still do it and kind of keep that balance, as difficult as it is.
yeah. I think, I mean, a beautiful family. We've got a full house. It's very supportive in that. But I think his name's Rory, so I think with Rory getting older, it's given me free time what I didn't have before, right? Because it's a lot easier managing a child that you can have a conversation with now than a newborn, right? A newborn and a toddler, sometimes there's no speaking to them.
Yeah.
Um, but that's kind of I so no, I've not been really doing it properly and like let's say professionally for too long. It was a very very long time a bedroom shouting before actually doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. Well, in any case, I'm very glad that you're able to be a wee bit more involved now because when was it? I think it was 2022, the first EP dropped, and
mhm.
I was here for it. It's like Scotland have their own version of Shadow of Intent and Brand of Sacrifice, you know?
Oh, it's brilliant, man. I wasn't. I remember when I was looking, I was on this website called Join My Band, and I put a post up on it a very, very, very long time ago, and Tony responded to it. So it was already a year up on the website, and Tony happened to reach out to it. And I was in night shift when I got the notification, and it was just dead weird how it happened.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm very happy it's happened. It's opened quite a few doors for me personally as well. So it's all good, man.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad I was at the release show for the EP and it went off. It was a lot of fun. And I've been really liking all the kind of theatrical stuff you've been doing with that weird like black liquid. Or at least it looks black in the audio lights. I'm sure it's like fake blood or something, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, it's black.
Oh,
It
is
tastes
it? All
good.
right. It tastes
Uh,
good. It
it,
tastes good.
it does. It's a cherry vanilla flavor. I think they're like £12 a bottle, but it's at least it tastes good. It's a pain in the ass to get out, but
Oh, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. Especially when you are wearing like something that's not black and then you can clearly see all the stains.
yeah,
Yeah. So take me through the kind of because that EP came out in 2022 and
yeah.
I'd been following the kind of progress for a while, pretty much since because it was around 2020 that the band formed, right?
I
Roundabout.
was I would say just before. No, was it in COVID? I'm pretty sure it was the heart of COVID
Yeah,
when we kind of got together. In terms of the actual releases, I can't remember the actual dates and that, but I know we got together. We were jamming through COVID when we weren't supposed to be, and then as soon as COVID dropped, that's when um started playing shows in Glasgow. Kind of grasping that opportunity because we were desperate, right, to
yeah,
actually do it. Um, and then I think since the EP, we've got one more release that was just a single, but that was due to be like a part of a compilation
mm,
for and the compilation kind of fell through, and we'd done the work on this song. We were like, no, we'll still release it because it was a cover of With Blood Comes Cleansing. Uh, so we released that, and then that's where we're at just now. Um, no too much has been happening in the thought department, in all honesty, at this moment, but I think it's just taking a sleep. I think everybody's got the lives to focus on the now, and that's fine. That's fine. I'll keep myself busy.
yeah. I'd seen that you've done a couple guest features, and I'm sure that it's only gonna get better from here. Especially because like the kind of Scottish extreme metal scene has been absolutely exploding since after lockdown. You see all these bands that have formed Brain Bath, Penny Coffin, Coffin Mulch that kind of were around
I love
just
that.
before it, but it's really just been kind of post lockdown, especially like this year and last year. I've noticed that it has been skyrocketing. Like that
I
feature
love it.
in Metal Hammer, it's been class to witness.
It's been so good. Like I says, like I felt like I was absent for the scene for a long time, and I've came back to it. And my first show back was actually, oh, what was it? I think it was Scott the Tudor's headliner.
Mm,
Um, it was one of the first shows I'd been, not just like before lockdown, but like a long time before lockdown. And I remember seeing Scott the Tudor like one of their very, very first shows back in the day. So I thought, fuck it, this is like a good show to like break the chain. And oh my god, it opened the doors, man, big time for me. But it's nice to see how much it's grown. Um, I'm gutted I missed a huge section of it, but it's nice to see what it's grown and what it's going to continue into because it doesn't seem to be stopping, right?
Oh no, it's not. It's not. I've been seeing all these bands getting big bills and supporting these huge names. It's been really cool to see because this is how it starts off, and then as they get more popular, they'll start headlining, bringing on other bands to support them, and it's just a never-ending chain. And
Yeah,
it's really cool to see, especially with because while it is kind of old school death metal orientated, there have been like the exceptional kind of bands to that, like deathcore with like Unhallowed Void and you guys. And really, really cool to see it like diversifying as well. You've got a lot of like thrash metal, you've got deathcore, got the odd black metal group here and there, as much as I think a lot of black metal is dead cheesy. But it's really cool. It's really cool. It's got our own wee kind of collective, and we're all supporting each other, going to each other's shows. I see the same people at shows all the time. It's really cool to see, and it's something that I never thought I'd be a part of because I was born at the arse end of the 90s, which
Yeah.
kind of when that was when everything was kind of dying down and like grunge took over. It's like I didn't get any of the cool stuff before that. I get all the shit after it, like the death of grunge in 9/11. So that, that's what I get. I get all the shit stuff. And saying that,
Yeah.
I did get like the rise of MySpace. And MySpace deathcore is still some of my favorite.
Oh, there's some really good bands. I still go and there's some bands I listen to that I can't listen to in like Spotify. I need to go to YouTube or
Oh, I know it's the same with me. Absolutely.
it's a shame, but I don't know. You wonder what happens, right? I guess life happens, but um,
Definitely, because I've noticed that with a lot of these kind of really popular bands, like prime example being Annotations of an Autopsy. They were huge back in like 2007, 2009, put out like what, two full lengths and then buggered off for 10 years and then put out EP, and then that was like 5 years ago and we have heard fuck all since.
yeah, it's a shame that EP they released was absolutely amazing, man.
Oh, it's class, absolutely. And I will admit this might be a hot take, but Dark Days is actually good.
Mm,
Don't know.
dark,
They put out like a beat down hardcore EP, which loads of people hated. And I think that's what kind of spurred them into going into hiatus.
right?
Because it's like you put out a shit release and then your fans hate it, and then it's like, no, you're not playing shows, and then oh,
I
that.
remember. I think I saw they did their first EP and then this album, right? That's Dark Days you're talking about.
I think they put out a full length before it, and then loads of people love that. I don't remember what the name of it is. I know it's great. I just can't remember the name of it. It's
Yeah,
got like a kind of blue album cover, and it had Lynn and Sean from Ingested on it.
I think I know the one.
And then after that, they put out Dark Days because I want to say that was what, 2012, and it was a complete switch up from like brutal deathcore, old school death metal to like beat down hardcore almost.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
then
Wilder like 10 out of 10, man. Whatever they did there, they need to continue that, surely.
I still love that EP. It's still for me a really underrated release, especially seeing as like beat down and hardcore has had a massive resurgence as of late. It's like
Yeah.
that would be probably idolized now.
Oh, for sure. For
It's like
sure.
it's like I've seen like Left to Suffer. I was listening to a podcast with them the other day, and they
Yeah.
talked about how much they liked Saint Anger, which is something you never hear. How
All
many
right.
people actually unironically like Saint Anger?
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
weird. It's weird, especially seeing as like they have a lot of that new metal influence. I know that Taylor is in a super group with, oh God, what's his name from System of a Down? Fuck, I can't remember. But that's an actual thing.
Right.
It's Taylor from Left to Suffer,
Yeah.
one of the guys from System of a Down, and Morgoth Beats, who's done stuff with like Winds of Plague, which they're a classic band.
Yeah.
Without them, we would not have Shadow of Intent, Brand of Sacrifice, or Lorna Shore. I guarantee you.
Oh no, for sure. For sure. I believe that.
No one else in 2008 was doing symphonic deathcore.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I've not listened to them in ages now that you bring them up.
They put
It's
out
been
an album in like 2017, but we have heard nothing since.
and there's never been like a statement or anything, no. Hmm.
No, last I heard that Johnny Plague, he did like a haunted house thing or something. That's like his kind of day thing.
All
But
right.
I've not heard anything new musically, which makes me sad because I really like the last album and pretty much everything before it. And
Maybe
who knows? Maybe we're
maybe
just waiting. They're cooking up something and they're like keeping it under wraps. It's like with this massive deathcore resurgence, I've noticed that a lot of these kind of MySpace era bands have returned. Like
yeah.
Rose Funeral, prime example. They've came back. They've put out a couple tunes. They're both class. Dr. Acula, there's another one. They put out a new album a couple years ago. Pretty
Uh,
solid.
Postmortem Promises as well. Well, they came back and now they're away again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was what, maybe 2 years, 3 years. Like, hey, we're back again. Nope, we're away again. Like
yeah,
right as the kind of deathcore thing is peaking, because everywhere you go, you see Slaughter to Prevail and Lorna Shore,
yeah.
which I suppose I kind of have mixed feelings on because I do love Lorna Shore. I mean, obviously, there's all the drama, which, deathcore moments. And
Yeah,
then, like, CG McCreary's formed his own band and then has lost members because they weren't being paid. And that's a whole other rabbit hole. It's fun. It's fun to just sit and read
yeah,
that. It's like, how do you not pay the musicians you're working with? How?
yeah. That does. I don't know too much about that. I don't tend to keep up with too much, to be honest. I've tried to like take a wee step back for the socials. Um, a lot of people have been asking me like, "Oh, right, you disappeared," sort of thing. But no, I don't know, try to focus on what's in front of me. The now, so I don't know too much about all the scene and what's going on. But that does sound a bit shite. You
It
think
is.
people getting paid for what they're doing, right?
Yeah. I know that, like, the guitarist that kind of did the bulk of the songwriting for what is now their finally released debut, he released like half of it as a solo instrumental EP and it sounds sick. And like it's CJ McCreary, the ex-bassist of Fit for an Autopsy, and somebody else. I know they had the drummer of Worm Shepherd for a bit, but then he left, which he seems to be just hopping in and out of bands now. And then there's been so much fucking drama the last like 4 or 5 years. It's actually mental.
I remember hearing the stuff when he left, like Lorna Shore and that, but um, after that, no too much. That was kind of when I took a wee break, right?
Yeah. No, I don't doubt that, and plus that's probably the way to do it. Sometimes I wish I could do that, but at the same time, it's like it's got such a stranglehold on you, especially seeing as that's how I keep in touch with a lot of friends I have, and obviously this podcast as well. It's like I'm not sending letters. Like, come on.
Writing letters.
I'll send you a letter. It'll be written in like those weird feather pens, written in like
Yeah,
quill ink, and then sent by a carrier pigeon. That's how I should do it for
yes.
a laugh. Next
That's
podcast
a good.
guest, you'll just get a letter through the mail being held by a pigeon, like some kind of budget Hogwarts.
Yes. I'm all
Except you're
for
not.
that.
I would do it absolutely. I just need a pigeon. I need paper, and I need like an ink pen. It'd be
You need
funny as hell.
a reliable pigeon. That's what you need. I don't even know how you train a pigeon to do that, but it's quite impressive.
I imagine it must take like months of training to do that. Because I know they did that
Thanks.
like during the war. They would send messages via carrier pigeon, or they would have like think of dogs or like something just to kind of get over the front lines, kind of sneak through all the barbed wire and all that, which I dread to think. I'm glad that was 100 years ago.
Yeah. That might be becoming a reality soon, right? But
I
we
mean,
don't
I'm
know.
just
Let's
saying,
hope.
if they introduce conscription, we're fucked immediately.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be. I think I'll run away and take a lot of acid in the woods and become a hippie. I don't think I'll. Nah, I don't think I would want to do anything like that. So I
No,
think I'll
I
get
don't.
high in the woods.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea to me. Get
Yeah,
high in
come
the
down.
woods. That's a great
Come,
idea. We'll just get a giant fucking like get all the people in the Glasgow scene. We'll go hide in the woods. We'll make like a Shire village there, like in Lord of the Rings or some shit. And we'll just sit and get high and listen to tunes of it.
I listen to death metal all day. Get high. Avoid the war. That sounds great. That's the sort of thing I will sign up for 100%.
I would
Yeah,
love to
I'll
do
be down
that.
if that ever came into play, man. Not a chance.
No, especially because it's like you'll get all these like Zoomers or like the people born after us. It's like born after 2006, and it's like we'd be fucked. We would
Yeah,
absolutely be fucked. But that's a whole other thing, and politics bore the whole off me. So
yeah,
let's
fuck,
see. Just
yeah,
gonna
fuck.
exactly fuck that shit. Just gonna quickly check my notes here. So obviously the kind of resurgence with the Head of the Traitor, and then you were recently doing live vocals for Operation Cunt Destroyer. How did that go?
I was good, mate. Big time good, to be honest. That was the first time I ever played it outside Manchester. No, sorry, outside Glasgow. Um, and then for that festival as well, was it Flash Flesh? No, Flash
Fleshfest, I think.
Flesh Fest. That was
That's it.
it. Um, aye, it was all a bit surreal, to be honest. I really enjoyed it, 100%. Aye, banging night, 10 out of 10. The Manchester people go hard. Um,
Their slam
eh,
scene's ridiculous. It's like our old school death metal scene. What we have for old school death metal, they have for slam.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm
big
living
time.
for it.
Um, I it was brilliant, 10 out of 10, man.
Do you see yourself, was it just a kind of one off thing? Do you see yourself doing more of it? I've always
Um,
wondered because it's like they had Liam for a bit. I've seen them a couple times since they've kind of reunited. And I know that there's Stu and there's Jordan. I don't know who else is kind of doing it or if it's just kind of a live lineup. I'd
yeah,
love to get like either Stu or Jordan on the podcast and kind of get the lowdown on the kind of return to OCD because I actually remember I was at the Party Cannon show where OCD was their first Glasgow show back,
yeah.
and Stu told me that we actually went to school together, and I'm going, what the fuck, did we?
Oh shit, small world.
It really is, because like we both went to Denny High School, which was awful. Would not recommend going
Yeah.
to school ever. Um, and I have no memory of it, but I'm impressed that he remembered me, especially
Hmm.
back when I had a head full of dreams and a head full of hair as well. But neither of them have happened. They've both fallen out. So, oh, it really hurts. Anyway, but I'm really glad they're back and just everybody's coming back and I'm loving it.
Oh, I'm here for it too, man. I'm playing with them again in July. I'm going back down there with them in July, and then we'll see where it goes for there.
It'd be cool to do a like a dual vocal despised icon angel maker type thing. Have both you and Liam. That would be fucking awesome.
That would be amazing. I've jumped up a couple of times with Liam now. At athletic shows, and I like the way we bounce off each other, like, or even the tones at each other's vocals. I don't know. I felt like it complements each other, but that would be awesome, man. That'd be real good. I'd be well game for that.
I would love to have a kind of like a deathcore super group. Have you both in vocals, get Stu in, get Jordan in, potentially get like Oscar in on drums or something, and just have a like a proper old school MySpace deathcore type project going on. I would be game for that. The big drippy, splattery, spiky logo, the impact font on the back with some offensive phrase, proper
Yeah.
old school shit, or like the cartoon monster merch. That's another thing we need to bring back. Like the stupid neon colors and do all that.
What happened to that? I love that stuff, man. Like the big stupid monster merch. I loved all that.
We need to bring it back. Head of the Traitor need to bring it back because, like, I mean, that logo would be perfect for it.
I do love that logo, man.
It's brilliant. I love that logo. The logo in the EP's cool too, but this just looks a wee bit more kind of out there and different. And I like that kind of stuff, especially when you see so many like incomprehensible logos every day. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's got spikes, it's got like drips, it's what next? Tentacles? I'm waiting for one with tentacles.
I'm pretty sure if you search hard enough, you're going to find tentacles in the logo for sure.
I don't want to find that. In saying that, I was I did find I found like a gore grindcore band called Squid Pisser. And I'm like,
Aye.
okay, this is kind of and their album cover looks like something if Mr. Blobby was on ecstasy and listened
Oh,
to like Dr. Acula. I feel like that's the kind of vibe I get. Dr. Acula and Mr. Blobby. It's
yeah.
weird as fuck, but it's actually kind of cool. And I love that kind of weird out there shit. It's different from the like usual kind of deathcore tropes where it's like here's your spiky logo, here's apocalyptic album art and all that kind of shit, which is cool. But if you do something outside of that, that's what's going to get, I think, my attention a lot more because it stands out. and more
I,
people need to do that.
I think so.
And also, what is it with bands doing like the tiny little nipple logo there and then the cool design in the back? What's with that? I I'm not a fan. If I want to buy an Adidas t-shirt, I'll just buy an Adidas t-shirt. I don't want
I
something that looks like it, you know?
was literally just wearing one the other day. Into my Beyond Extinction one for this.
They rule, though. They rule, so it's fine. But like I go to death metal for the outrageous merch designs as well. Like that's something I really, really like.
Oh, I
It's
like good man.
like trying to think of ones that like are really interesting. Like Aborted, prime example, they're killing the merch game. For their new album, they had like a flesh-colored apron as part of their pre-order, and I'm going,
Yes.
we need weird shit like that. Like Stillbirth had a toilet seat.
Oh, remember annotations? We were just talking about them.
Yeah.
They all right.
Yeah, they had a hammer. That's right. I
Yeah.
remember that. They had a fucking hammer. Why
Uh,
not? Slaughter to Prevail had an axe.
yes.
Does that mean we're gonna get the head of the traitor like police baton, something like that, or a baseball bat like wrapped in barbed wire, like some Negan type shit?
They're like a bong, to be honest, and anything else. But
I mean, I
yes.
don't smoke, but I'd carry a bong. I'd carry a head of the traitor bong,
Yes.
or it's like you see ghosts with like the butt plugs, or like the Marilyn Manson dildo. We gotta get
Is he?
ahead. Yeah, that's a thing. Marilyn
I,
Manson put out a dildo with
oh,
his face on it. It is the most repulsive thing I've ever seen.
I think I'll stay away from that corner of the internet for a while.
I can't help it because it's like I follow all these news outlets and Metal Hammer's like, oh, you can get a Ramstein sex toy set with dildos of every band member. Who
Oh,
wants that? Who
well,
asked for that? I mean, I know Ramstein are horny, but
gotta say the Europeans, they're all horny, aren't they? So
they Ramstein created like hornycore way before Sleep Token did, and it needs to be said. Where's the Sleep Token dildo and butt plug set?
I don't know if they'll ever do that because of I don't know. I know Ramstein are obviously pop. I was going to say because they're popular, but I don't know. I don't see. I could see Ramstein putting out dildos, but I couldn't see Sleep Token for some reason. I don't know why, but
Well, aside
I
from
just
the fact that their fan base is like half underage, that's probably
yeah.
why.
Yeah.
We don't need them cancelled again,
No,
probably.
no thanks. There's been too much of that. Too much
Yeah,
of the can.
that's a whole other thing that I'm sure we could delve into, the deathcore moments, which I it's depressing that it's even called that, but
Yeah.
that's
It's got because it happens too frequently, right?
it has been happening really frequently, and I don't know how I feel about it. So we'll go into something that's a wee bit more kind of gets the brain going a wee bit. So what
All
if
right.
you had to make a style of music that was completely outside anything you'd ever done? If you had a Darren Mcilvenny solo EP or album or whatever, but it couldn't sound anything like what you've done previously, what would it be?
Mm, oh God, if I even have the skill set to do so, but I think I'm a big fan of like do you know Aphex Twin?
I've heard the name about, but I've never actually sat down and listened to them, which is a massive problem for, I suppose, anybody my age of the internet generation, but also me specifically, because I am on the autistic spectrum, which I can hyperfixate on the same like dozen or so pieces of media for days, weeks,
Yeah.
potentially even months. And it's hard for me to kind of find new stuff, like constantly surrounded by it, but it's hard to just sit down and like actually check it out, which
Yeah.
is the same with a lot of kind of music outside of, I suppose, metal, angry guitar music in general. But occasionally I'll hear like the odd pop song in work because they don't play anything good. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I actually quite like that and have a playlist on my phone of like purely just cheesy pop music, the kind of shit you'd hear walking into a shop, which nobody likes,
Yeah.
which I
I think
will I love a bit of cheesy pop.
I tend to go through phases, right? Obviously I listen to metal, but the time to time there's sections in my life where I don't touch it at all. Right now is one of the times in all honesty. Um, but in terms of, like, I think realistically, I'd like to get in about a like kind of Joy Division dark wave sort of style where it's kind of focused on the bass and synths.
Yeah, yeah.
That's always been very, very appealing to me. I know Aphex Twin is far from that, but I think in an unrealistic universe, what Aphex Twin does, whatever he does, whatever that is, yes, I would love to do that. But in a realistic universe, probably like kind of dark wave, that kind of Joy Division kind of shit.
I'd still
I'm
be
more like,
down to hear a kind of dark wave, kind of that weird, like kind of dark synth pop. I
yeah,
do like that kind of stuff, especially if it's like on in the background. It's really chill. Like a
yeah,
lot kind of like instrumentally, Sleep Till can have a lot of that, and also like Tears for Fears. Like we're going way way back now, like that kind of thing. I love that kind of vibe. I would
yeah,
love to. I'd love to do something like that, but I have no musical talent, so that's why I stick to just talking about it for an hour and a half.
yeah.
But I'd love,
I
I'd
don't,
love, I'd love to do
I,
something like that.
I don't professionally play any instrument. I've been very, very toying with the idea of picking up a bass. For that reason, to get in about some dark wave, right, myself. But who knows? I've not done it yet, but there's still time.
We've got the rest of our lives, and as technology continues to improve, instead of like being old and dead, we'll just get all of our body parts replaced by cybernetics, and I'll become
Yeah.
RoboCop and shoot rapists in the cock. You know,
Yes. Yeah. That life, please.
I would
That.
love to be a cybernetic 80s style vigilante that shoots rapists and pedos in the dick. I would
Yes.
happily live that life. I'd date for free.
100%. I'd date for free.
It'd be fun, and plus you could say cool thing. You could say like cool quips and one-liners, like "I'm composed of titanium. I don't believe you are." I love that film. RoboCop is
Did you?
so good.
There was a new game that came out recently. Was I know a RoboCop game?
Oh yeah, there was. I keep meaning to like check it out, but
I
like I am
sent.
with music, I'm the exact same with games, especially seeing as a lot of kind of modern gaming is awful, because it is. I mean, look at, I mean, I'll say this, Call of Duty 2019, it ruined Call of Duty. I don't
Well, I'm.
care. I don't care about Warzone. Shut up with Warzone. Just give me something like Black Ops 1 with a good campaign, solid multiplayer, zombies. I love zombies. I could sit and play that for hours. I've done that today. My day off, I've spent it listening to music and playing zombies and all their different games. And it's just not the same. It's all
I'm a bit.
microtransactions and battle passes and
I'm
ugh.
even than you, man. I'm Call of Duty, the four, like the first Modern Warfare. Like
Oh
I'm a
yeah.
way back. I'm I'm one of the old school people that are like, oh, Call of Duty got shit after that. That's how far back I go with them.
Yeah.
Um, and then I know people as well that are like, no, Call of Duty's only good with Call of Duty 2 and the PC, where you're like fucking looking at pixels and that. But
It's like
I guess
Minecraft. It's Minecraft but set in World War II.
exactly, that's what that feels like.
Where's that mod? I'd love to play a mod of Minecraft where you're set doing the Battle of the Somme.
Oh, that's probably real. That
Someone's
must be.
done that, absolutely. Someone's
Yeah,
done a Battle of the Somme like biome in like Minecraft.
hundred
Imagine you're playing this really depressing, like historical, like nadir of humanity, and all you're hearing is oh, 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 oh.
percent.
Not sure. Ah, meh, meh. Let's make an EDM EP of just stupid villager noises with like drum and bass. Let's do it. I think that goes stupid hard. That'd be funny. I love that kind of meme filled shit. I mean, prime example is bands like Party Cannon, Peeling Flesh, where it's
Yeah,
like it's not serious whatsoever. That's the kind of thing I gravitate towards because it combines like two of my favorite things, which is fight riffs and memes.
yeah. No, I'm very much into that. I was dead happy when OCD asked me because of that reason, right?
Their samples are fucking great. I love that still game sample so much.
Samples fun. Those samples are so fun.
I want to do something like that. I'd love to do a kind of OCD peeling flesh style band where it's just stupid samples, bass drops, and fight riffs. I'd love to do that. Make stupid
Yes.
noises. cup the mic. Glenn Fricker, you're not supposed to cup the mic. I don't care. I potentially I'd love to do something like that. I know people that do play instruments, so who knows? Maybe in the future you'll get me making stupid noises
Well,
for
you go.
less than an hour 90.
You're in the right network, right? You're talking to all the right people, so you never know.
I'd love to do
I
something
mean,
like that. Even just like play a show, like even just one show I'd be happy with, just to
it
get
happened.
that same kind of feeling because I've always wondered what that's like.
Yeah, it's cool. I'll give you that. But it happened to me, and I never knew anybody. So you're definitely in the right circles, right?
And I do have, well, I've got this microphone, I've got Reaper the Eternal free trial. I just have no idea how the fuck to work it.
Yeah,
Been saying
takes a
that I didn't know how to work any of this stuff. So, and the podcast episodes turn out all right. So,
yeah. I guess if it's just like anything else, right? You put in the time, you're going to get results. I think there's pretty good online courses out there too. Um,
yeah,
and then you can always go with the trusty YouTube, right? You can't go wrong with
that's true.
guides.
There's a tutorial for literally everything.
Yeah,
The most obscure shit you can think of, and AI has made it even better. Like I
yeah,
remember I was watching a YouTube video and somebody mentioned that there's a tutorial of Master Chief teaches you how to fill up the oil on your 2006 Nissan.
yes. That's what you need.
Yeah,
You need,
because I have a 2006 Nissan. I don't
yeah.
drive.
No, no, not that, but I need the Master Chief telling me regardless.
So you want to make sure that you take the cap off and you make sure that it doesn't go above the line. AI is funny. That AI should just be used for memes. No AI art. Fuck that. Just keep it
Yeah,
for memes. Keep it for memes. I'm living for all the AI memes.
memes. That's it. Door closed.
Yep, door closed. That's it. Just everything should be resolved with memes.
Yeah.
I'd,
Please don't give the AI a Gatling gun. Please don't.
why not? It'd be funny.
Oh,
It'd be funny. Imagine fucking Terminator just saying shit like no cap and gyat and riz.
no,
Ima-
no. Don't do
imagine.
it for me.
Imagine. I need your
Don't do
clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. No cap, for real, for real. On God, bro.
I bet you if you met him, you could actually get him to say that. And yeah, I think he'd be pretty game to actually reenact that for you if you came across him.
I feel like one of two things would happen if I met Arnold Schwarzenegger and I told him to say that. One, he'd be game for it and do it and it'd be great. Two, he would fucking knock me out.
Oh, no. He's not that sort.
Just the kind of right turn, Clyde, bam.
Your head would just disappear. It wouldn't be there.
It would just be Thanos snapped out of existence. You wouldn't even see the head come off. It would just be head, no head.
Yep.
Him, Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, I would feel like those two actors would do that.
Yeah.
You don't hear much from Stallone anymore. It's weird.
No. I remember last I heard, did his mum no die? God knows how many. That's the last I heard, and that was years ago. I don't
Yeah.
know. His
And then
mum was a bit.
there was all those kind of like Apollo Creed films, but I don't know if you had any hand in that because I'm awful at keeping up with movies.
Oh yeah, same. I don't watch too much, in all honesty.
Me either. I just kind of stick to YouTube and like Instagram and mainly YouTube, kind of Instagram because Instagram Reels ripped off TikTok. Same with YouTube Shorts. But aside from that, I don't really watch a lot of stuff. Occasionally, the odd Netflix series or stand-up special. Or
Yeah.
I do like my podcast. Hello, I've started one. Imagine not liking something and then doing the thing you don't like. Be a bit
Come
silly.
on.
What? Come on, be silly.
Ah.
It's like, nah, I actually hate podcasts, mate. Don't know why I'm doing it.
Yeah. Come
Nah,
on.
come on. Nah, I like podcasts. Like the Gaza podcast is great. I love watching that. Trying to think what other ones I like and what ones I've watched. That's the main one. And then I like
Yeah.
a lot of kind of like video game stuff and like Yu-Gi-Oh as well. I will admit I'm a massive Yu-Gi-Oh nerd. I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was
I'm
traumatic.
sorry.
It's
Yeah, it's fun. Anyway, so obviously, it's just coming up 6 o'clock. I don't want to keep you forever because obviously we all have lives. Well, you do. I kind of don't. So the one thing I'll ask next is if you could keep 5 deathcore albums, EPs, whatever, and then the rest get like Thanos snapped. We were just talking about Thanos snapped. All but 5 deathcore releases get Thanos snapped. What 5 you saving?
well, I wanted to say that's a tough one, but I already know what my number one is. Um, Riata's Murder, Infinite Death EP. That that fucking EP, man. Oh my god. Still to this day, Jesus Christ. Um, yes, aye. Before CJ and everything, yes, 100%. Number one. Two, the very, very first release. I can't pronounce the name, right? So don't judge. The very first release that you can only get on YouTube from 13 Blade Promises. Again, same kind of thing there with Thy Art Is Murder. Although I still listen to 13 Blood Promises pretty regularly. But that first one, oh Jesus, yes. I don't know what it's called. Starts with a D. I know that much.
I'm gonna have to
Uh,
look that up because I haven't listened to that.
no, do you know the
No,
band?
I know the band. I listened to that EP they put out 2021,
Yeah,
2022. You put out a new EP. They kind of came back from hiatus a few years
yeah.
ago, put that out. It was pretty
And
cool.
then
That kind of
yeah.
Rings of Saturn, but not pretentious kind of thing.
Aye, exactly, exactly. Um, so that was number two. Oh God, I think I mentioned it earlier on. Hate, malice, revenge, all shall perish.
Yeah,
I think big, a big curveball for deathcore and
but it
death
was one
metal.
of the kind of the first like properly labeled deathcore releases because
I think so.
Despised Icon's first full length was what 2004, five.
I can't remember dates. I'm not sure,
I
but
know
I
it was
feel
kind of like early 2000s before deathcore kind of properly became a thing and not just laughed at.
yeah, yeah. So we're on.
So that's
So I've got
3 so far.
two more. Oh God.
Do more.
See, now I'm struggling. I was fast for the first two, but um,
I love these kinds of questions because it's one of those ones where you actually have to sit and think and go through all the files in your brain, and then
yeah.
it's just suddenly it's vanished. You don't know anything. I love these kinds of questions. I love seeing people's reactions to them. It's cool. It's
Mm,
very fun.
see the albums are popping up or the EPs are popping up, and my brain's going,
Who's that
no,
by again?
can't do that. I can't do that because there's so many good. There's so much good.
There really is.
I kind of, I'm staying pretty old school here. Oh, the album for Emu way that has Rust Over Wet Dreams on it. I cannot remember the name.
I know that's one of their first ones.
It's a second album, I'm sure.
Yeah,
It's where it's like it's blue and it's got the face at the front.
I know the only one. I know there's one with a face at the front, but that's the one with the boxer on it.
That is
I
the
know the
one.
one. I know the one you're talking about. I just cannot remember the name of it. It begins with a G. It's Nah, I'm stumped, but like second
Oh,
debut album.
yeah,
Go with that.
we'll go. We'll go with that last one. Jesus, maybe we need to go newer for the last one.
Maybe
In fact,
slightly newer.
we're not even going to go newer. Actually, I don't know why this wasn't one of my top fucking three. Um, horror with blood comes cleansing.
Oh, I do like that album. That's good. That's a
Yes.
good one. It's that really kind of dirty sound. I love that stuff, especially seeing as it's a massive contrast with what was happening now.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Pain Remains, pretty much anything Distance done. Um, which to be fair, I love both those bands, but there's just something about that gritty old school sound. Everything sounds so organic. I
Yeah,
love with it. I love with Blood Comes Cleansing. I'm glad they're back.
same, big time.
Be interesting to see where they go. I know that Abacab, that weird band name, Abacab, they came back. I don't know
Yeah,
if they're doing anything, but I've seen that they're active. And you have all these kind of super niche bands like Beyond Deviation. There's another one,
yeah.
kind of really down tempo, kind of early Black Tongue, early Traitors type stuff. Had the most insane highs I think I've heard to this day. It's
I'm
like,
not a big fan of like the whistle highs,
yeah, it's
but
that kind of thing. They definitely kind of were the kings of that for a bit.
yeah, I'm no big fan of it. But I mean, I can appreciate it in that sense, but I tend to gravitate away from that if I know somebody's like doing it in a song.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's everybody has their taste, right?
Well, that actually, well, speaking of like different vocal styles, that actually brings on a kind of interesting debate of the kind of whole vocal gymnastics thing, like all these weird kind of goblin noises. Will Ramos, Dickie Allen, vocalists like that, as opposed to, I suppose, more old school type vocalists like Phil Bozeman, Adam Warren of Oceano, who I love Oceano. Um, kind of like, which do you prefer? The kind of weird, stupid goblin noises, vocal gymnastics, or that kind of more old school type of thing?
I'm gravitate towards old school with like I would say a finishing touch on the gymnastics, if that makes sense. I lo-
Yeah, yeah.
I lo- well, you know, people have took that stuff. Like I appreciate where the whistle vocals and like the tunnels and like where it's all went to, and it's cool. But I much do like that old school fucking gut roll.
I do love me a good girl. Prime
Eh,
example, Adam Warren. Nobody else sounds like him, I think.
Who's that? Ocean?
Oceano.
Aye, aye.
Oceano. He
No,
just, it's like a
no.
huge tunnel. I don't know how he does it, but he just sounds incredible.
Yeah,
Rock from Within Destruction as well. My God, that man is a tree trunk for a throat.
yeah. I never got a chance to see them live. Oh, there we go.
I got to
And
see them with a couple years ago. This was during, I think it was Lotus, because they changed style with like every release. They started off as like As I Lay Dying Meladeth stuff, then went super slammy, then put out a deathcore album, and then went to like a weird hybrid of new metal and like Japanese anime style metalcore.
yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but you know,
I think it's sick though.
if that's the way you want to go, so be it.
The
I
tunes are
can
good, and Rock still sounds monstrous. It's not like he's doing clean singing, which
I
there
like
is some, but
I like the old stuff, but I've not listened to much of the newer stuff. In all honesty, kind of as I've kind of gravitated towards slam more than anything else recently, but I think that was because of Manchester, right?
that
Um,
definitely helps because they have what Corpus Cephalic Mutation, 357 Homicide. They have so many fucking great slam bands.
357 live. Oh my god, they
I'm
were
st-
good.
I'm still waiting for them to come up here. I swear to God,
They
I
were
want
so
it
good.
so bad. I want it so bad. Have you seen their new album cover?
Yes, yes.
I think that's my favorite piece of art that I've seen this year.
Oh, I've got two pals that have actually bought hoodies that they were like, I don't know what this hoodie is, but I'm buying it just for that. And I'm like, yes, well done, man. That is good. It's great, man.
It's such a sick cover. And that's why, like, only people can come up with stuff like that. AI can't do that. Only people can do that.
Yeah,
I mean, look at like Kalen Stokerman. He's done like Humanity's Last Breath. Did he do Humanity's Last Breath? I know he did like Crown Magnetar and I think some stuff for Worm Shepherd. I'm not sure.
yeah.
Like that kind of weird, almost Renaissance style. I love his stuff. And then there's like you've got the kind of old school death metal stuff with like Dan Seagrave, a lot of Ingested's album covers, Shadow Intent, um, like Rivers of Nile as well, Entombed. He's done some classic covers. And I love that there's so many different variations and styles of art within this style. It
Mhm.
keeps it really cool. It's not just all one and the same.
No, it's interesting, man.
I mean, you look at like Where I Always Know My Name, Rivers of Nile, and then you've got like Crown Magnetar, their new album, Everything Bleeds. So sick. It's so sick.
Yeah. I don't know too many of the artists' names, but I do appreciate like you say, it's the variations of arts right in this scene. It's great. I love it. So even with the logos, I like a nice logo, man. I think my favorite logo is Acranius. I don't know why. It just hits
It's
for me.
simple. It's simple. It's not stupidly complicated. It's not like Peeling Flesh's kind of tree logo. I don't know why that just doesn't hit the same for me.
Yeah,
Like their old logo, like their first logo, I think hits because it's that kind of familiar style, but it's also like simplified. It's not stupidly complicated to the point where you can't read it.
yeah, yeah,
Like you could say that a lot about a lot of different slam bands and their logos. Like like Lesbian Tribbing Squirt, prime example. There's
yeah.
also I forgot the name
Like
of it. There's so many. There's that many. Anything Larry Wang's involved with.
Larry,
That man, I love that man so much.
what a lad.
He's an absolute mad lad, and he keeps churning out stuff, and I don't know how he does it.
He's a king. That's
He
why.
is. He
He's
is.
a king.
He is. He really is. I had the same kind of discussion with Luke on the first episode. It's like I called him the human love child of Larry Wang and Mike Portnoy. And I'd say that's pretty accurate because that man can drum.
Yes.
And
Yes.
like that new Desecrated Extinction EP. Oh,
Oh,
it's so good.
that is good.
It's
That is
so
good.
good.
It
Perfect
came,
production as well.
it came at a right time for me because I'm just well, it's not that I'm just starting to get into Islam. It's always been there.
You're diving back into it again.
Yeah, yeah. So it's came at a good time for me, man. So I feel like I can appreciate it a lot now than what I would before. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
I'm very glad I caught the long sleeve as well. The long sleeve looks sick.
I still need to pick up something. It's a wee man's birthday coming up, so as soon as that's out the way, that's when I can go a wee bit merch crazy.
Pretty much anything from like Gorehog merchandise or Reality Fade is the best places to get slam stuff.
No, no, Reality Fade, they not got a discount on for
40% off everything.
everything. Exactly, aye. When does that end?
I think it's a couple weeks. I don't know how long exactly, but my bank account's looking at it and going,
Yeah, exactly, same man.
it's
The same.
panicking. It's panicking. It's like I have everything sat in my car. I have a bunch of beanies. There's a few t-shirts, that 357 homicide shirt especially.
Yeah.
It's just like it's getting so hard to not just go check out, check out, check out.
Yes.
It's so tempting. It's like I want to, but I can't because I need to be semi-responsible.
I know.
Semi. It's
Same.
pants. I need a sugar daddy, but not for like fancy cars or houses, just band merch.
Yeah,
That'd be
I'm pretty sure
great.
rich dude out there that'd be game for that. You just need to find them.
'Cause you hear people with all these stories of like sugar daddies and like all that kind of shit, but you have to wonder if any of that shit actually happens. I don't think so.
I don't know. I think some people out there get their kicks in certain ways, and that I don't know, man. I think if in that aspect, if you can see if you can think it, it's probably happening or it has, right?
Yeah. Be interesting to find out. You never hear of that shit here. You hear of everything wild in America, but that's America.
Ah, well, that's a given, right?
Yeah, that is a given. Pretty much any stupid thing you can think of, I guarantee you it's happened in the US.
Yeah, and probably
It's happened.
Florida.
It will probably be Florida or one
Yeah,
of the southern states or maybe California.
yeah.
Those are always the kind of hot spots for all your mental shit, all the daft shit, especially Florida.
Hmm. I'm going there soon.
Now make sure you take a bulletproof vest, cyanide pill, another bulletproof vest, and if alligator repellent is a thing, I don't think it is.
I would just stay away from the water.
Everywhere is covered in water. You can't stay away from something if it's the only thing that's there.
Uh,
It's like you being a vegan and then being trapped in the four corners in Glasgow.
yeah, that must be.
That would be terrifying. I couldn't go vegan. I couldn't do it.
I'd see if I could do it. I went to Nepal one time to the Himalayas and see the food I was getting served up there. I was veggie the whole time, right? If that food up there was getting served to me down here, I would be veggie, 100%.
Yeah, I wish I had the willpower to do that. I my hat's off to anybody that follows like a vegetarian or especially a vegan lifestyle.
Oh, for sure.
Because vegan, it's like you can't do anything made by an animal. Food, clothes, nothing. That would terrify me because I love burgers too much.
Hey, I'm the same. I like them. I like a good smash burger, man.
I haven't actually went. I know there's a smash burger in Glasgow, but I haven't went to it yet.
Yeah. Well, just smash burgers in general. That's my favorite. But
Yeah.
uh,
What I
yeah,
don't get though, and this will probably be one of the last things we talk about, is why are so many restaurants obsessed with brioche buns?
I don't know. Actually,
Brioche buns are awful.
I like brioche, but I don't seek it. I don't. But if it's there, then I'll take it. So it doesn't bother me too much.
It just should, like, at least to me, it shouldn't go with a burger. Because then all your taste, at least all I taste, is like I taste sweet bread. That's it. Nothing
Yeah.
else. It's so weird. But I mean, I've had it in the time plenty of times in the past because it's like that's the only thing that they have. It's like,
Yeah.
why? You should at least have the option to have like a morning roll or something.
I'm more than I said.
A wee
Mother's
morning
pride.
roll. Or like a sesame seed bun or something. Just something
Yeah.
other than brioche.
Yeah.
I like how that's the last thing we're ending on is why brioche is terrible. that's the
Well,
that's the art
yeah.
of conversation, isn't it?
Well, why don't we end on your pet? It makes sense to end on a positive. So you name your perfect burger from bun to toppings to meat.
Oh God. Because this could get ridiculous because like with burgers you need to kind of be able to fit it in your mouth because if you eat burgers with a
Yeah.
knife and fork you're a fucking psychopath.
Yes.
So I would say just like a lightly toasted sesame seed bun. I would have some lettuce, some cheese, but actually good cheese, not like that weird plastic shit you get in like most places. Would have a just a nice simple um like medium rare patty. Like I could take rare or I could take medium, but anything like outside of that, like well done or blue, which why the fuck is blue a thing? That
Yeah.
terrifies me. It's like your burger was love tap for 2 seconds, and it's like there you go. I can still hear it fucking mooing. I can still
Yeah.
hear it mooing.
No
I
thanks.
would have lettuce, cheese, bacon. Yeah, I think that would be it. Maybe a little bit of hot sauce. Just kind of slather a wee bit on there. I would
Yeah.
say that would be that'd be the dream burger, I think.
I think I like a smash burger with two patties, but I want it smashed so much you can see through that fucker, right?
Yeah.
Guns to be. I think with burgers, I need to go classic. I love combinations and trying different things, but
It's
ketchup
a
and
simple food, that's all you want. You don't want any fancy shit. You just want something that's simple and tastes good.
you need a hot mustard on it for me. Oh, that aye, and fresh onion. I don't. I like grilled onion, but I just like the snappiness of fresh onion.
Hmm.
Um, yes, and bacon. Yeah,
You can't not have
bacon,
bacon.
bacon, fresh onion, ketchup, a hot mustard, and cheese. I don't mind the plastic cheese, but I'll take any cheese. I like all cheese, unless it's if it's moldy, get it away from me. If
Yeah,
it's
no,
no moldy,
I agree with that. Just why is blue cheese
I'll
a
get.
thing?
Yeah, that's not for me.
It's like imagine that concept of like blue cheese, right? It's got mold in it. Imagine that on literally any other food. You would be like,
Yeah,
fuck no. So why is it fine for cheese?
I know. I don't get it. There is
It's
something like other foods that are similar. Like it's a delicacy, right? But nah, no thanks.
yeah,
I don't want.
yeah, I don't want it. I didn't want
I
it.
don't-
I didn't want it. Anyway, this has been. I've had a lot of fun. I don't know about you,
It's,
but I've had a really good time.
I mean, it's fluid, man.
Yeah,
I
no,
think.
that's what, 20 past 6. We started at what, at least an hour? Round about?
Uh,
I'll need to check when I actually go in to like edit this and stuff, which hopefully this will be out by the end of the weekend. I'm working late tomorrow and then like got plans for Father's Day on Sunday. But
yeah,
I'll hopefully be able to get it out in the next couple of days, and like I'll have links to, I'd say, your socials, not that you really do anything, but I'll have links to all the Head of the Traitor stuff. Keep an eye out there for like potential new music, new shows. Who knows what the future holds?
who knows? Who knows?
All I know is it's great to be a part of this scene. It's great to see how alive and well it is, and it's only going to get better.
Exactly.
So anyway,
Exactly.
thank you again for like watching this episode. If you like it, do the usual shit. If you are watching this, you have definitely been on the internet long enough. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that stuff. It's the internet. I need to do that because otherwise I'll just be screaming into the void, which I usually am anyway, but this time it's up with a microphone and a camera and somebody
Yeah.
listening, which I'm sorry. But anyway, thank you again, Darren. You've been great. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you all next time. Peace.
Right.